as I drop the model, of starting 40K. This is where I'm going to go over the building of a simple 500 point list, which can then be built upon, expanded, changed out, used as allies, whatever. So here I have the starter box Assault on Black Reach Space Marine Commander. Really cool model. One of my favorite builds, actually. I love the cape. So cool. Banner's okay. Broke off the top, but that's okay. So in this video, I'm going over the Space Marine Commander specifically. It's basically going to be his build, and later on I'll do another video on painting him. But so far, we have this guy. I'm also going to go over some other topics on starting out, such as this stuff. My blue stick tack, which I purchase in packages like this from the dollar store. And this is what I use to build models before I glue them, to see if I like the pose or just see how it works. So this is going to be the model I'm basing my commander off of. I have another one. See all the pieces. This is how he comes. He comes on a slotted base, which this has been cut off because, see this guy, little piece there, because I'm going to do a scenic base for him, which means I don't want him to have that slot because then it won't work as well. So this is what we have. We have our commander body. This is a model I got off someone, so the backpack's glued, but that's okay because I wanted to keep a banner on him. We have this piece, which just goes here. We're taking this out. This is the piece we're not going to use because I'm going to customize him to be a guy that I want to use, not a standard model. And this is his sword, which broke off. This is a different piece. I have a couple of these models, all that I'm changing up to be personalized, just to give them that added effect. So we'll be back with the next step. Alright, so the next step is his base. Now this is the base the model comes with. Sorry about that. But currently, as to when this video is being filmed, is a couple months after the new Blood Angel Tyranid starter box came out, which means we now have these bases. Now, whoa, as I hit the camera and drop the base, we have these two. So that's noticeable size difference, which when you put a commander on it at the back of the base, it's got about that much space. This one at the back of the base, he has that much space. So there are pros and cons to using these bases. I have 20 Death Company currently, and I only have 5 of these bases. So I've decided to keep the 20 on this size base, which means I'm only basing 5, and using these 5 for characters. I have a Tech Marine, I have a Librarian, I have the Commander, a couple other models. I just think it makes more sense to have a larger base for a character in with a squad of guys that aren't as important, whereas having 15 guys on this size base combined with 5 guys this size doesn't really make sense. And since I already have them based and built and primed, I don't really feel like ripping it all apart and redoing it and ordering a whole bunch of these bases online, which currently I don't even know if you can. So even if they decide not to use these bases anymore, it'll still give the commander a much better presence compared to on one of these. So if I get the other one, you can see what I mean. Just takes up a lot of the base. So for this guy, I will be using this base. Okay, so the next part is to use different pieces to make this guy. So first thing you do is go into your bits box, pull out a whole bunch of bits you think you'd like. For example, this is a chest piece from Death Company. Get up nice and close, focus. There we go. That I really like. So I'm going to use a little bit of stick tack. Actually, I'm going to use a little more than that. I'm going to stick this right there. Then I'm going to put this right there, press in. Now it's not perfectly lined up, but as you can tell, that looks pretty good. Take this guy back. As you can tell, it already starts changing things, which is what I'm going for. So the next step, since there's green stuff in there, is to choose a head that you like as a commander. Now, personally, focus the Roman kind of leaves in the hair. I find this to be a pretty good commander head. So we stick that in the green stuff, or the blue stick tack. Just kind of move it around, and there we go. So now we have a commander with a different head. So already different look. A little more personalized. You can change it to, if you have different chapters have different looks. So if you're doing Space Wolves, you could give them a head with a beard. You can give them a chest that has wolf icons. A lot easier. Then we have this piece. We have this piece. And we have, if we take him and cut it off, we have that piece. So if we just kind of, put my hand in front of the camera, sorry about that. Put some stick tack on the back here. And just fit it under, stick it on. His head popped off, his chest went out of line. I'm still pretty new at doing models in front of the camera, so it's a little disorienting, I guess. So now we have the cloth coming out underneath. So it looks like that. That way there's no gap in between, so you can see his body. Now I'm going to go in a little later and just kind of trim that so it fits in a little cleaner. And the other options, take this off. Put that there. Just kind of push it in. Like that. Off camera. And then put this back. Ooh. It's also a little harder to build with a camera in between, like right in front of you. So you have something like that. Now with the tassels and stuff coming off him, I don't find this one to look very good. So we'll try the next one. Ooh. Something like that. And again, with the two purity seals, it doesn't quite line up properly. So I think I'm going to go back to this one. Stick it in. And go like that. So it does look closer to this one actually. But it still looks unique. So we take these pieces away. And then you keep going through your bits. This is where you can get into real specific conversions. If you want a power fist, you can give them a power fist. If you want lightning claw, you can give them a lightning claw. For me, I'm just keeping him kind of basic. I'm giving him a combi weapon, which is just going to be a combi melta, which I'm going to take the arm that he had. I'm going to cut it at the wrist so that this piece can just fit in. I'll show this one better. So he has that. I'm going to cut at the wrist and just replace with that. So it'll look similar to that. And for the other arm, I have I believe this is from the Space Marine Veterans Squad, where he's got this sword in the sheath and pointed down. So that's going to be kind of like that. Again, I'm going to cut it right about there, so you just see the elbow, because that's about where you see on this one. And it's going to go kind of like that. And the head can be One of the benefits of using the stick tack is currently his head's looking that direction, but if he's pointing the gun, we just go like this. Now he's looking down the barrel. So it'll be kind of like, I'm looking at you. So those are options. I'm going to cut it a little better, a little closer, get the arm attached and glued together, and I'll be back. Alright, so it's been a couple days. Finished them up, cut the arm, glued it on, cut this arm, glued it on. Can't really see it behind there. So basically, I messed up cutting it. I made it too thin, so there was a bit more of a gap than I thought there would be. So I just went in with some green stuff, filled it in. Doesn't look too bad. I'm really new with green stuff, so get up a little closer. So in here still needs a little bit of sanding, but the rest kind of works. When this is primed, you won't be able to see that, and it'll kind of divide it up. So there he is. The base has cork on it, so he's going to stand on it like that. And yeah, that's pretty much him. He may or may not be primed when I do the next part of the video with the battle report, but he's going to be not in pieces on the table. So that's always, progress is always good, no matter what it is. And he's just kind of chilling there. Alright, so that's it for this video. In the next video, I will go over just a basic squad of Marines. So, hope to see you soon.